Alright, all you truth-finding, zombie-hunting mall shoppers out there, welcome back to the Indy Radio Arcade. And we almost forgot to say what our favorite scene in that movie was for Under Siege 2 Dark Territory, and I think it has to be the scene where the guy gets killed and thrown off the side of the train into an outhouse where he looked like he did some form of F5 when he hit the box. I don't know why, but I always thought that was funny. And the fact that they didn't use a Wilhelm scream for that, a crying shame. But then again, I think he was already dead before impact, so yeah, that's the thing. But besides Wilhelm screams and movies starring Steven Seagal that my sister still refuses to watch, I think it's time for us to go into yet another edition of the Instant Classic Video Game Review. And the game we have up on the plate, seeing the fact that we're fresh off the heels of Black Friday, is none other than Dead Rising. Chop till you drop. And this is the Wii version of the game, which has several different nuances that are different from the original Xbox 360 version that came out 3 years prior to the one that we're reviewing. And before we get into those differences, folks, let's go to those meat and potatoes. Because the meat and potatoes of this said film is that you play as a photographer or photojournalist known as Frank West, who would end up sneaking into the small town of Willamette, Colorado to investigate why in the world it's been sealed off by the National Guard, and would be given 72 hours by his pilot Ed DeCula to make his way back to the rooftop with as many survivors and people that he can before he leaves them behind. And the plot is the same in the original version that it is in this version, but what did I like about the Wii version of the said game? Well, one thing that I did like about this game is the fact that they have a weapon shop included in the said game, and focuses more on the weapons of handguns and shotguns in this game more than they would than the actual weapons that you find around the said mall. And a couple of the weapons that you can find around the mall besides your typical park bench and I guess blade saws and benches and garbage cans is also not only a small chainsaw, a laser sword, a queen, and not to spoil the story, but it is powerful against the zombies, the ceremonial sword, the katana, skateboard, and even a weapon known as the Red 9. And if it's anything like Resident Evil 4, then that's the same Luger pistol that Leon used to try to fight against the zombies in that game too, which is a very effective pistol and probably one of my favorite ones to use in games, because it's a cool design. And oh, before I forget, folks, we almost forgot to mention that every single major special weapon that you would get near the end game for Resident Evil is featured in the Wii U version of this game. Or more or less the Wii version of the game, because the Maestro just corrected me. Thank you for the correction once again, Maestro. And oh, before I forget, before Maestro corrects me on anything else, folks, another thing that I loved about this game is the different form of attacks that you can learn during this game, including the ability to actually swing somebody Cesaro style by their legs. And also the Hurricane Punch and other cool attacks that are included in this game, which is pretty fun. Really is fun. And the last but not least thing, and probably one of the most important things that they included in this game, was the fact of a new Game Plus ability that you could use in this game just in case you miss any other survivors or key points in the story. You can always go back with all of your weaponry and take on these guys again to truly search for the ultimate truth. And with everything that I liked about this game, what didn't I like about it? Well, for one, the fact that you're on a time limit in this game and you can't really explore all of the wonderful places in this game that it has to offer. I mean, I would love to explore the different forms of shops that they have around, but with the fact that you're on a time limit, And the fact that if you miss one small investigation in a game, you pretty much get the worst ending for this entire game and have to play it all over again. Yeah, really wish that they would get rid of the time limit for it, but hey, it is what it is. Another thing that I didn't like about this game probably has to be some of the different psychopaths that are involved in this game, especially the one with the sniper rifle that tries to take you out. I mean, he's a simple boss to fool, but at the same time, really difficult to deal with, especially if you're not prepared. And the last but not least thing that I didn't like about this game, even though it's a little silly to some, but I really wish you could have had a chance to play alongside with a friend in this game, or at least play with them with the mini games you got a chance to unlock once you beat the main portions of the game itself. Yeah, it would have been pretty fun to play alongside with my sister, but hey, these things happen. And with everything that we liked and didn't like about this game, what do I think we could do to improve upon it? Well, besides giving you a chance to actually have a sandbox mode in this game to actually explore the entire mall itself, also a chance to actually play alongside with a friend alongside with you, and even get a couple of extra time in between trying to find survivors to truly explore the secrets of this mall, and get rewards for finding them too, if you're able to do it in time. And seeing the fact that we don't know how to review games along the lines of gold stars, coins, letters, or bricks, we review the game in only two ways, folks. Will there be a video game story in the near future for this game? And do we recommend this game for you, the zombie fighting mall shoppers at home? Well, seeing the fact that we've pretty much avoided doing a video game story for this game for the longest amount of time till we did a review, why yes, there will be a video game story in the near future for this game, and I got a feeling there may be a Tales from the Disc for this game for next Halloween that involves a whole bunch of poodles and lawnmowers. And if you think that can't lead to a horror story, folks, you don't know us that well. And do we recommend this game for you, the mall shopping zombie fighting fans at home? Well, if you want to play a game that you play as a photographer or a photojournalist or a shutterbug trying to find the truth like the X-Files, all while trying to avoid getting bit by zombies and even taking on a multitude of different opponents where he can actually disembowel them with a secret ability, then I recommend you go out there and cop that disc. And I almost forgot, one of the ultimate abilities that he can learn in this game is disembowelment. Yeah, that's how extreme this game gets, folks. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back to this music, and when we return, we'll be back with more of the Indie Radio Arcade right after a word from our sponsors. So don't run out of continues just yet, folks, and stay tuned.